We believe that all the covenants since Abram have been made with Israel. For some expositors of the Bible, they start with the covenant with Adam and then the covenant of Noah with the nations of the world. But then since Abraham, all the covenants that the Bible mentions are all made with Israel. 7 unconditional covenants and 1 covenant with conditions. The 7 unconditional covenants are the covenant with Abraham, the covenant about the promised land of Israel, the covenant with the priesthood of Levi, the covenant with the kingship, the everlasting kingship of the house of David, the new covenant, the Jerusalem covenant, and the covenant of peace. Let's open the Bible and read about all of them. It starts with the covenant with Abraham. Genesis 12, as of verse 2, God says to Abram, I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. There are many people, even nations today, who curse Israel. God says, if you curse Israel, I will curse you. But if you bless Abram, if you bless Israel, I will bless you. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through or in you. That's covenant number 1, and it's unconditional. You hear how God says, I will, I will, I will, I will, I will, I will, I will. Whether you like it or not, Abram, I will do it. Whether you cooperate or not, Abram, that doesn't matter. I will do it. This is my decision about your life and about the people that will come forth out of you. And I can make such a decision about your life because I am God. I'm going to use you as a blessing for the whole world. And so this is covenant number 1, and in a sense this covers more or less all the other covenants. The other covenants are elaborations of this first covenant. Covenant with Abram. The second one is the covenant about the promised land of Israel. You read about that in Psalm 105. There we read from verse 7, written by Israel, by Jews. The whole Bible was written by Jews, Old and New Covenant, Old and New Testament. Both parts of the Bible are written by Jews. Jesus was a Jew. No, he is a Jew because he rose from the dead with his beautiful resurrection body, and when he comes back in glory, he still is Jewish. So this Jewish man writes on behalf of God in Psalm 105, he is the Lord our God, says Israel. His judgments are in all the earth. He remembers his covenant forever. Forever. The oath he swore to Isaac. God made these covenants swearing an oath by his own name. He cannot lie. He will never ever break an oath. So he swore to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob as a decree, to Israel as an everlasting covenant. What does everlasting mean? Until Jesus Christ and then no more? That's what the church has been teaching throughout the ages, in the last 2,000 years almost, that when the Jews said no to Jesus, God said no to the Jews. And the church says, we are now the new Israel, and God is finished with the Jews. But if you say such a thing, you make God into a liar. You make God into a God who can break an oath. No, the God of Abram, Isaac, and Jacob says to Israel as an everlasting covenant. And everlasting means forever. And then the content of this covenant, to you I will give the land of Canaan as the portion you will inherit. So to whom belongs the land of Canaan? To Israel. God's decision. To you I will give this land. It's my land, he says, but I give it to you, O Israel. So Israel does not exist by the grace of the United Nations, or by the grace of America, or by the grace of Russia, China, or Europe, or by the grace of Islam, or by the grace of Christianity. Israel exists by the grace of God, on the basis of an everlasting covenant. The third covenant is with Levi. You can read that in Numbers 25, verse 10 till 13. And then the fourth covenant is the everlasting kingship of the house of David. You read about these covenants together even in a beautiful passage in Jeremiah 33, as of verse 19. The word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. This is what the Lord says: if you can break my covenant with the day and my covenant with the night, so that day and night no longer come at their appointed time. So if you can stop the rhythm of day and night, and we never can, but if you could do that, then I would break my covenant with David, my servant, and my covenant with the Levites, who are priests, ministering for me. It cannot be broken. If day and night, the rhythm, stop being there, only then will David have no longer a descendant to reign on his throne. I will make the descendants of David my servants, and the Levites who minister before me as countless as the stars of the sky, and as measureless as the sand on the seashore. God's covenants, all of them, stand forever, firmly and solidly.